Hello and welcome to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports for the Challenge Cup semifinal first leg between the Nottingham Panthers and the Newcastle Vipers. Hello folks, well, to be a new name on the Challenge Cup this year, and one of these two teams will be fighting it out to see whose it is. I'm Nick Rothwell, alongside of me as usual, Dave Sims. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to a good semi-final here. Two very different teams, two very different clubs, but a chance to win a trophy.
The weather's closing in. It's getting a little bit chillier. Hockey is hockey now, and we're getting to Cup final stage.
It's the proper part of the season, isn't it? And this is probably one of the first really huge games of the year. Can the Nottingham Panthers, who have underachieved so far this year, take on the Newcastle Vipers, who perhaps have overachieved this year? So two very different clubs, two very different teams. I'm looking forward to it.
And of course, always in Nottingham here in this very special arena. It's always a great atmosphere, isn't it?
Fabulous atmosphere because the fans are so close for an arena. Normally in the arenas they're so far away, but here they're so close. And of course the Nottingham fans, very, very vociferous in their support of the Panthers, and they want to win another trophy. They waited long enough for the playoff trophy last year. They want another one, and Mike Ellis has to deliver.
Okay, well, we can have a look at the Challenge Cup tables and see how the teams got here. First of all, the Group A, where Nottingham topped the table. Dave, what do you think of that?
Well, that was a tough group, wasn't it? Look who they beat out. With respect to Basingstoke, Coventry Blaze and the Belfast Giants. So Nottingham and Cardiff did a great job making it through to the semi-finals. And in the Challenge Cup, you know, the Panthers have been dominant.
Yeah, and of course Belfast getting off to a very poor start, eh?
And Belfast, of course, had that shocker of a start, which helped Nottingham.
Yeah, and in Group B, Sheffield and Newcastle collecting their way.
Very tight group there, and you know, it went to the very final weekend for Sheffield to qualify, but Newcastle had that group pretty much won early doors. They won their first three games and it was all over for them.
Okay, well, right now, Dave, we're looking at the Nottingham Panthers. They've had a few change in personnel with PC Druin going out, Dwayne Hay not making it in. Is that going to affect things?
It has to affect them a bit, doesn't it? You have to feel, even I felt sorry for the Nottingham Panthers. You know, they release Druin, they bring Hay in, and then he goes and rips his groin whilst he's in North America. So, you know, Ellis was expecting, you know, Hay to be out there and playing this evening and leading his team. He's a guy who was going to bring some goals and some good productivity. So he'll be disappointed, of course, that Hay's not in the lineup.
Were you shocked with PC Druin's departure? Probably one of the marquee guys in the league, but getting a little bit older, maybe family pulling him closer, wanting to go back home a little bit. His heart just didn't seem in it, did it?
You know what? We have a different opinion on Druin. I was surprised he lasted as long as he did. I thought he just didn't deliver when he came back the second time. We said it in every game that we commentated on, that Druin was just not the same Druin. He didn't look interested. So you know what? When they don't look interested, put them on a plane home.
All right, Dave. Well, earlier on you caught up with both head coaches, Rob Wilson and Mike Ellis. Here's what they had to say.
Mike, how important is the Challenge Cup to the Nottingham Panthers?
Well, any bit of silverware is absolutely huge, and this is no different. The Challenge Cup, it's the first silverware of the year, so we're just you know, we're only 4 games away, hopefully.
And how do you rate the Newcastle Vipers? They've lost 2 games back-to-back for the first time this season. They're going to come in here full of spit and vinegar.
Yeah, no doubt. Rob's coached a really good team there. They're a strong team. We have to make sure we play good defense as a team to take care of their offensive players, and from there, if we do that, I think we'll be fine.
You had some rotten luck last week when your new import wasn't able to arrive with PC Druin leaving. Was there a temptation to put the skates on yourself tonight?
I think a lot of people thought that might be the case, but to be fair, the way the rules work in our league with ITC cars being quite limited, I decided to, for the best of the team, I'll find the right guy. We've had a bit of bad luck. I thought we had a top-end guy in last week with Dwayne Hay, but it just didn't work out. So everyone's just got to pull together.
What do the Nottingham Panthers have to do tonight well? What's one thing that your team must do well for you to be successful this evening?
We have to limit our mistakes. I think that's been our biggest problem throughout the year, is we've had played some high-risk hockey and got caught out on it, and tonight we'll be concentrating hard on being tight at the back end.
Okay, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Rob, the Challenge Cup, how important is that to the Newcastle Vipers?
Oh, it's really important. I mean, every trophy is important to any club, but yeah, it's, you know, we've played extremely well in this cup, and you know, I'm hoping we can continue our form.
Is it a surprise to some people that the Vipers are in the semi-finals of this competition?
I think, I mean, maybe people are a bit surprised where we are in the league and that we got through the semi-finals and things like that, but you know what, we've just gone along and kind of quietly done our own thing, and you know, so far things have gone good. You know, obviously we haven't been so great on the weekend, but so far, you know, things have been pretty good.
I'll ask you a question I asked Mike Ellis. I asked him what the Panthers had to do well tonight to win this game. What do the Vipers have to do? Is losing by a goal a good result for you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know, I want to win, but you know, one of the main things is what we didn't do on the weekend is something we've been doing all year, and that's played really tight. I mean, we're not the most talented team in the country, and everybody knows that, and we have to play as a unit. We have to play as one, and if we get away and have any individuals, that's when we struggle. So I think for us tonight, one of the keys to beating Nottingham is play as a full unit, play as a team.
The Vipers are known of a team that have got this great spirit. You've got to hope that that comes back this evening.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to hide it. We didn't play well on the weekend, and, you know, obviously heads go down, and that's what happened. We played two teams I thought played well, so, you know, a combination of everything. So, you know, we've got to come in, get our grit back, get our a sense of defensive play back, look for our opportunities and take them when they come.
Okay, good luck tonight.
Thanks.
And Dave, the ones to watch, hey, it's not McCaslin.
It's not McCaslin. They asked me who's to watch, and I didn't want to say McCaslin because you know what, Patrick Wallenberg, it's time for somebody else in the Nottingham Panthers to step up to the plate and be a leader. Maybe that's Patrick Wallenberg. He's playing up on the first line, he's centering that first unit, and Mike Ellis is desperate for an all-star performance tonight out of Wallenberg.
And for the Newcastle Vipers, a guy that we were impressed with when we saw him up in Newcastle, Derek Campbell.
Well, you know what? Derek Campbell has impressed me this season. He didn't last year in Manchester. I said that before, but I'm telling you right now, Derek Campbell in Newcastle has been a revelation. Every time I've seen him play, not just for his work on the puck, but his work off the puck as well. He works so hard, he's gritty, he fits into this Vipers team just perfectly, and I like what he brings to the table.
He's a grinder, isn't he? He's just a guy that will put his heart on his sleeve and run skate for you all night.
Exactly, and he obviously likes the players he's playing with because he's doing a great job for them.
All right, Dave, well, I'm sure we're in for a big one. It's the Challenge Cup semi-final first leg, first period, coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Challenge Cup semi-final first leg between the Nottingham Panthers and the Newcastle Vipers. And Dave, we got a barn burner in store for us.
Oh, we have. The atmosphere building here at the NIC already. Two full-strength teams and two teams going for a Challenge Cup trophy here. Rovniak so important to the Nottingham Panthers, but we're looking for a big game from Corey Nielsen. The Panthers need a man just to secure that blue line. It has to be Nielsen tonight. Up front, where are the goals going to come from? Well, we always talk about McCaslin, but as we said a little bit earlier, it's time for the other guys to join the party. Moline and Patrick Wallenberg especially need goals from those two tonight.
And the starting lineup for the Nottingham Panthers will be Richardson in between Big Schmier and McCaslin, with Nielsen and Myers on the points, with, like you said, Rovniak, the backstopper.
Newcastle Vipers, they always get good goaltending from Ryan McDonald, and at the back end, Peter Kratzky, he has to be strong in exactly the same way as Corey Nielsen has to be strong, but the most skilled defenseman is Mark Goulet, former London player, of course. He's outstanding on the blue line. Andre Payette's been dropped down the line. He's on the third unit now. Good speed from Jackson and Shields, but really David Longstaff the key to the Newcastle Vipers up front.
And the Vipers starting lineup will be Jackson in between Campbell and Shields, and Story and Kratzky on the points. And McDonald guarding the 2-4.
Here we go then, folks. Andy Carson is the man in charge of this one, and the semi-final of the Challenge Cup, the first leg semi-final, is underway. Already Derek Campbell's lost his stick. He's 2 zones away from the play. Nottingham Panthers in white, of course, normally a team in yellow, but it's Panthers in white tonight, and it's the Newcastle Vipers in yellow. They're coming right to left with Sean Johnson, and Derek Campbell playing on Johnson's line. Good speed from Jackson, but Kratzky it is who moves the puck forward, and both teams, well, certainly the Vipers and now the Panthers, opportunity of a line change. Here is Nielsen, bangs one off the boards, met by Gomanyuk. Richardson couldn't get there first, and Sean Johnson will collect. And the Johnson line with David Longstaff and Andre Payette, that's disappeared, and different lines tonight for the Vipers. Kratzky can't get his shot away. It came off the stick of Stancock actually before Pelche. Nasty bounce off the boards to Richardson, and it's now with Johnson again. A long first shift for Sean Johnson. Hutchins with a shot, and a traffic in front of the goal of Rovniak was David Longstaff, and now the Panthers with Ferreira will chip it in, and Miles will go hunting for it. McDonald stops the puck. Jeff Hutchins waiting just before the blue line and just moves the puck forward. Any early thoughts there, Nick?
Yeah,
It hasn't really got going yet.
It hasn't really, but I want both teams to come out quite hard. Newcastle want to try and shake off the losses over the weekend, and Nottingham want to try and get this game out of the reach of Newcastle right away and bury this 2-leg semi-final.
Great offence, the Panthers, and they had a chance there with levers. Nice work by Myers, who did a great job protecting the puck behind the goal of McDonald. Gomagnon collects. Nottingham go for a change. And here come the Vipers. Just in front of us with Goulet. Hammers one around the boards. Rovniak decides not to come out and stop it. Moline protects the puck well and gets it out to Nielsen. Big Kevin Bergen, first time we'll have seen him on Sky Sports. Last year with the Basingstoke Bison. Where's 25? Kratzky hammers one round. Bergen stops the puck. But it's collected by the Vipers, who will now have a chance to come out with it, but they were slow on the puck there. And intercepted Moline, but he just couldn't pick up on that error. Rob Wilson, Nick talked about limiting errors, and that's a big key for the Newcastle Vipers. Kratzky's got to go into a corner, but Bergen will get there first. Wallenberg loses it in his skates for a second.
You know, Dave, Payet had a chance about 30 seconds ago to level Bergen in Nottingham's zone, and he didn't. He skated away from it. It's quite rare that you see Andre Payet try and avoid a check. Very
much so. Andre Payet, of course, he mustn't have had a great weekend. He's been demoted from the Longstaff-Johnson line, and he's playing with Rublivsky this evening. We'll see how that line shapes up and whether Rob Wilson will revert back to the other line. Longstaff does a good job to get it back to Hutchins, but it's the Panthers that clear all the way down, and as soon as Gomagnon touches the puck, the whistle will blow.
Well, Rob Wilson obviously wanted to change up lines with the Vipers to try and get a change, and motivate some of the players, and obviously that can work with some guys, and some guys it can take a negative effect. It can make them feel a little bit down, and maybe Andre Payet, I'm not sure what kind of player he is, if he likes to have a lot of motivation from his coach, or if maybe it might kind of deflate him a little bit.
Face-off then in the offensive zone with Richardson. Face-off win for Richardson as well. Nielsen gets it back to McCaslin, but McCaslin can't do anything with it. 3-on-2 if the Vipers play right. Campbell, though, has to take a long shot. Rovniak has it, puts his glove over it, and whistle blows. Jackson gets a face-off win there, and battling Campbell gets it. Can't get the cycle going. Nice pass by Myers out to Schmier. Takes Schmier a couple of strides to get going, and an intercepted deflection there ends up in the glove of the backup netminder of the Nottingham Panthers, Jeff Woolhouse. This is Jeff Hutchins, top goal scorer in Coventry 2 years ago, top goal scorer in Belfast last year, and now, of course, with the Newcastle Vipers. Is that going to be a trip? Not called by the referee, and now it is called by the referee. I didn't see Andy Carson's hand go up too quickly there. So power play time then for the Vipers.
Yeah, that's the forecheck there, and you get the stick caught between the Vipers defenseman there. He goes down. It's a definite penalty, and surprising they had such a good scoring opportunity just after that as well.
Okay, power play time then for the Newcastle Vipers. Always important, special teams. And of course in the semi-final where every goal is just vitally important. Nice cross-house pass. Hutchins takes Peltier wide, rims one round. Stancock can't quite get to it. Comes out to Shields, intercepted. McCaslin breakaway. McCaslin versus McDonald. McCaslin shoots, denied McDonald. He took him to his backhand side. There's going to be a penalty on the clock, but what a super play by Sean McCaslin. And I thought he got McDonald beaten. He went forehand, backhand.
Colin Shields with an absolute giveaway to McCaslin. McCaslin goes around to his backhand, and a great save by McDonald. You can see he's moving back. He makes the deep. McDonald covers it the whole way.
Story's no slouch either, and McCaslin just blew him away.
But Colin Shields will be kicking himself for that. But Rob Wilson has kept him out on the ice, so obviously doesn't want to dent his confidence too much.
Campbell tried to find Shields. Shields was in a bit of problems. McCaslin again in a foot race with Story. Story realised he couldn't win that, so peeled off, and McDonald found him. McDonald, his pass is fine. Story gets it cross ice. Rublivsky joins the play. Campbell's looking with his backhand there as Jackson had sunk low. Here's Story and again, second time, Shields can't make the pass. Story heads up play, and Rublivsky and Campbell come off, and perhaps a different change of personnel will help. So they're going to get some muscle out on this power play line now with Longstaff and Andre Payet. Payet burst down the left-hand side, but the pass doesn't come his way. Goes instead to Story. Story finds Payet. Payet's got a bit of space. Payet on his backhand, but he couldn't just get away from the Panthers defenseman. Goulet to Story. And Jackson, he's caught offside. It was a bad pass from Story. Rob Wilson has options. He can either put the speed merchants out or he can go with the big guys. He does have a very different team. Every one of his players brings something a little bit different to the table. Payet hammers into the boards. There he is. Gomeniuk to Longstaff. Back to Gomeniuk. Back to David Longstaff. He's waiting. He's looking for something to happen in front of him. And good work by Peltier. Andre Payet couldn't get away from Mark Richardson. Puck hammered around the boards. And the first power play of the night is now over. And as Myers comes out of the bench, he runs straight into Goulet. Payet has it and goes through. Peltier gets to the loose puck first. Gets the puck round the boards, and Jackson will get there, but he can't get there first. And it is the Panthers that break. Myers. Levers go back to Myers, who took the shot over the glove side of McDonald. Outlet pass to Matt Myers, but he just runs into trouble. Here comes Shields. Shields will take the shot. It just got deflected. Campbell comes in, can't quite make good wood on that. Levers does a good job on the back check. Campbell and Levers again will have a chance and just chips into the neutral zone, makes a smart play. Richie Thornton moves the puck forward, but Holland was offside. So the Panthers will have time behind the goal of Rovniak. And Newcastle take that opportunity to get a line change. It's a little static right now from Nottingham as Nielsen with a long outlet pass. Myers had a bit of it. Richardson gets there first. Richardson tries to pull a move. And now Wroblewski just bangs one off the board as Holland comes in on the forecheck. But nice work by Nielsen. Here is Corey Nielsen. Got the big hammer, but he's not going to score from there. But he moves the puck forward to McCasland. McCasland looks on the money tonight to me. Richardson gets taken into the boards by Payet, and that loose puck just bounced off the stick of Payet, and then Payet and Richardson clash. And then Schmier comes in on Payet, and Schmier and Payet have got history. And Payet just finished there on Richardson, and Payet was probably frustrated because that puck ended up in trouble after he just rebounded off his stick. Let's have a look at that again, perhaps. There is Andre Payet.
Well, the puck not getting cleared by the Newcastle Vipers, and then these arenas where the boards come in and out quite a bit, sometimes you can get a little bit of the plastic along the edges. It can kick out funny rebounds. I think that's what happened there, and then McDonald had to be on his toes.
It's the little things always that can win and lose a game. Myers just tried to cut inside Kratzky there. Story, good work from Myers, so big and strong, and he's done a great job. Levers. And it's his third unit for the Panthers that's created more. We're going to have a penalty against Newcastle. And you know what? It's quick feet. We always talk about keeping those feet moving, Nick. And it's those quick feet of the youngsters there from Nottingham that have drawn that penalty.
Great job by the third line from the Panthers, going in there, buzzing. Levers going around the net, and Kratzky holding him and drawing a 2-minute minor.
Power play time then now for the Nottingham Panthers. Vipers failed on their first power play opportunity. They got one of the best penalty killers in Sean Johnson, who's out there at the moment, but with Nielsen gets the puck in front of the goal, and the Panthers, who've got one of the better power plays in the league. David Longstaff battling on the boards, but he gets out to Myers. Big chance for Nielsen with the hammer, shoots the puck, and he just went kind of through the glove of McDonald. Bergen couldn't control. Back out with Nielsen again to Moley. Back door is Wallenberg. It's with Nielsen now with a wrister. Shoots and scores. Wiped off. Goal wiped off. And I think we're going to find there's a man in the crease. But Andy Carson straight away there said no goal. Man in the crease.
I'll tell you, that is just so frustrating because Mike Ellis was saying how hot his power play is looking, even with the departure of PC Drew, and it all comes down to this guy on the point, Nielsen. He's so commanding, and he's got a quick shot. He can either lay it in hard or just straight from the ice. He doesn't have any wind-up at all. And a guy in and out of the crease, and you can't skate into the blue ice around the goalie.
He was in there, 2 or 3 seconds beforehand, but not when Nielsen shot the puck, but Andy Carson was adamant. And we're still scoreless. Power play time for the Panthers. Moline. But Bergin, he's a big strong man, isn't he, Bergin? Get to Wallenberg, to Moline. Bergin's waiting for it, but it's with Wallenberg. Moline clashes with Story. And Bergin on his backhand comes back out. Moline again. Mars is waiting for it. Story finishes. Got to be careful, Story. He doesn't get caught there. And now Goulet will get called. And now Bergin comes in on Goulet, and Story comes in, and now Campbell comes in, and we've got a pretty much free-for-all here.
Well,
it's Story started that. David Longstaff having a word, and Bergin came straight in. Let's have a second look at that one, Nick.
I think there was a hit from behind there. You can see Story. Now that one, there's no problem there. The glove's a little high, and the stick. That one got away, but it's that hit from behind. Goulet coming in and hitting it. Well, Goulet definitely did level Moline from behind there. I think that's the.
So at
that's
2 and 10. So the team's only short-handed for 2 minutes, but of course Goulet, an important player, out for 12 minutes, and then Bergin and Campbell both receiving too many penalties for roughing. They'll be coincidental, so they won't show on the clock or be served, of course. And this is a great opportunity, Nick, for the Nottingham Panthers.
Unbelievable opportunity, Dave. 5-on-3. Face-off down low in the Vipers zone.
Big draw for Sean Johnson, doesn't win it. Gomagnon comes in hard on Moline, but the puck gets back to Nielsen. It's so important they keep the pressure on. Here is Nielsen. Hammer from Nielsen, just wide, stick side to McDonald's goal. Comes back out to Danny Myers. Myers heads up play, got McCaslin in front. But he goes back out to Moline. On the back door is Wallenberg. They're just passing the puck around. Big shot comes in from Myers. And really, it's patience that's required there. And
it is. And he did have McCaslin in front of the net, but again with no movement. So McDonald can easily key on where the shot's going to come from. And there you can see he takes it no problem and doesn't have any rebound. But again, you want to have the goaltender moving across, so maybe he could find Nielsen.
Nielsen's moved across to right here. He was just playing on the left-hand side, now on the right-hand side for this reason, for the face-off win from McCaslin. Back to Nielsen, to Danny Myers. Danny Myers is going to look for some options. Wallenberg sunk low, but Nielsen will take the shots. And he just goes high over the plexiglass and into the netting.
But there's the movement. There's Nielsen drawing it back. He's moving backwards while making the shot, making McDonald move across the crease as well. And then it unfortunately for the Panthers, it took a deflection there and goes out of play.
32 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Just 31 seconds of this 5-on-3 power play already gone. Wallenberg with the face-off win. Moline gets it back to Myers. Myers back to Nielsen. Nielsen to Myers. Myers is a little static. Nielsen, Moline, Wallenberg again sagged low. Big hammer from Nielsen, but it doesn't get through to McDonald. And Gomagnon has a chance to clear and does clear. Buys his time a few seconds. Huge opportunity here for the Panthers. On the 5-on-3 power play for another 10 seconds. Nielsen. Moline to Myers, back to Nielsen. It hasn't come to Wallenberg yet. Nielsen, now Wallenberg gets it. Wallenberg has sunk low. 5-on-4 power play now. Kratzky's back as the big hammer comes in, but he deflects round. Nielsen gets run by Kratzky. Gomagnon gets there first. The Vipers still can't quite clear. Now they clear. Well, no, they can't clear, but the whistle blows, and that buys them a bit of time.
Good work by Kratzky coming out of the bench set and finishing his check on the far wall there. Like to see that.
Newcastle sunk so very low down there, but they couldn't get, Nottingham couldn't get the puck to McDonald, could they? They were being very patient, but you've got to try and create some offence and try and get some shots, and they failed to do so. Change of lineup, and Stancott comes on to play the point with Nielsen. Big shot comes in from Richardson into the glove of McDonald.
It'd be interesting what would happen if say, a guy like McCaslin comes further out on a play like that and uses his speed and puck movement.
We got a view earlier on tonight, didn't we, about just how big Ryan Schmeer is. We were looking at his stick, and we reckon it was 6 foot
6'1". Yeah,
6 foot 1.
Yeah, it's about 73 inches.
That was just his stick, Schmeer, and loses out there. But Myers, who I think has played very, very well in the opening 10 or 12 minutes of this game. The speed of Jackson hits the red line. They chip it in. Schmeer interferes with Jackson, but he just skates away from him. 20 seconds then on the 5-on-4. Nielsen, who's been out pretty much the whole of the 2 minutes. Myers cuts inside, makes a play, but standing up very well, aren't they, the Newcastle Vipers there? They're making sure that the Nottingham Panthers have got to work hard to gain the zone. Schmeer gets it back to Myers. Myers of the mat variety. Nielsen then throws one on net, but it doesn't get through, and then a loose puck does get through Story, and it'll be collected by Jeff Hutchins. Chips, and there's a chance for Longstaff if he can collect, but it was just a little bit ahead of him. Peltier down the right-hand side, but he loses control of the puck. David Longstaff, patient play, Longstaff again. Why does he always seem to have more time than everybody else, David Longstaff? Perhaps just he's better than most of the players.
Because he's got Johnson out there skating around like a maniac for him.
Ferreira, it's the third unit of the Panthers that have actually done a great job tonight so far. McCaslin's actually out with Liebers and Ferreira, and the whistle blows.
Yeah, but we've got another penalty calling up, a hooking call.
Rob Wilson was absolutely livid with referee Andy Carson following Saturday's game against the Coventry Blaze, and he just couldn't believe some of the penalties that were being called, and I think he'll be shaking his head at that one as well. So it's the big man, Kratzky, that's coming into the box. So Gomanyuk is out there killing penalties again. And another power play opportunity for the Nottingham Panthers. Mike Ellis will know that these chances aren't, they're not going to come along every 5 minutes, and he's going to want his special teams. He's got good enough players on the power play. Here's Wallenberg. He didn't see anywhere near as much of the puck as he should have done on the earlier power play. Berging drives the net, but he gets it back to Wallenberg. Nielsen takes a wrist shot, gets deflected, big chance out front, scores! It's Danny Myers who opens the scoring on the power play for the Nottingham Panthers. He took a deflection.
And it's that man, Nielsen, at the point with the shot that I was describing. He doesn't need to have a big wind-up. He can just let it go right from his hip almost, and he gets the shot away. And Myers picks up. Here you can see, look at this, no wind-up, bam. It takes a bounce in the high slot there and goes straight to Myers.
Yeah, it comes just off Jeff Hutchins.
And banks it in off McDonald. Very fortunate goal, but well worked by the Nottingham Panthers on the power play.
So the Panthers have had a break and they've taken advantage of it. They lead the Vipers 1-0 in this first leg semi-final of the Challenge Cup.
I'll tell you what, Dave, we talk about the character of the Newcastle Vipers. We're going to really see it here. See if they can come out of the blocks.
Tell me something, Nick. You heard the interview I did with Rob Wilson earlier. Was Rob just being polite with me when he said he'd be happy with a one-goal loss?
There's no way Rob Wilson would like to come in here and think already before the puck is even dropped that he'd be happy with a 1-0 loss. I think he was just being nice to you.
Richardson top of the circle finds Schmier with a chance. Good work though by Campbell. And then there's a bit of afters with McCaslin and Campbell. And now Schmier comes in with Campbell. Campbell's ready to drop them. You can see they're on the edge of his fingers, those gloves.
I'll tell you what though, Dave, if Newcastle don't pull their finger out and start gelling a little bit better.
Normally he doesn't play the bully role so much, and tonight he's playing the role a little bit more, which is what you want from your tough guy. You don't want him just to sit there and fight, you want him to bully people. And Schmier's doing a good job. Here's McCaslin. Out to Schmier. Can he get it back to McCaslin? No, he can't, but the puck's going to fall to McCaslin again. Nice work by Mark Richardson, just a little 2-foot pass, but he did a good job. Here is Richardson, goes behind the goal and he's got Jackson beat. Jackson wants to haul him down, but he can't. Campbell instead is taken down by Peltier. Sean McCaslin, sometimes you don't want to just keep saying good things about one person all the time, but with McCaslin it's hard to find. You just end up saying good things about him because he does a bit of everything so well.
You got to get him on your speed dial, aren't you?
I tell you.
Yeah.
Well, now that Mellanson's left Basingstoke, I need a player to hook onto. Here's Story.
Oh, there's a good restaurant around the corner. Maybe you guys can go for wings after.
Yeah, you never know. I like that restaurant. Here's Story again, holds onto the puck. Good play by Story. Hutchinson's down low. Myers, the goal scorer, rims the puck, only gets it back to Jeff Hutchins. Hutchins puts one on net, and Story just tried on a redirect. Rovniak went down and took it in his chest. Ferreira, nice pass to Myers, who's had a good first period. Myers top of the circle, he's patient, he waits, he protects the puck, he gets it to Liebers, who takes that backhand shot. And again, that third unit creating for the Nottingham Panthers.
And see what the Panthers are doing after the shot. They're skating up to McDonald's goal, they're putting the brakes on right in front of them. They're allowed to do that as long as they don't touch him.
Stancock gets it back to Moline. skates so well, doesn't he, Moline? Bergin, cross ice dump. Somebody's got to go and get it. It's Wallenberg. Taken into the plexiglass by Campbell. The puck's lying dormant, but Wallenberg holds on to it. And Wallenberg paid the price and was prepared to, and did a good job. Got it to Moline. Moline and Wallenberg combining well. Mike Ellis is stuck with them. Peltier's looking for the puck, but Gomanyuk steps in. Gomanyuk with a backhand over the top, and Campbell collects. Campbell tried to get the puck to Shields, intercepted though. Here is Patrick Wallenberg again. Bergin was just ahead of the play, and is that too many men on the ice? Everybody in this building thought it was, including the linesman. And Rob Wilson shakes his head, puts his hand on his head, but he's going to have too many men on the ice penalty. A big opportunity then for the Nottingham Panthers to put their mark on this game and double their advantage. Nielsen, they go back with Nielsen and Stancock. Chance for McDonald just to rim the puck. Longstaff goes in and they've lost it, and they've lost it in Corey Nielsen's skates. Sean Johnson, one of the league's better penalty killers, hammers the puck down the ice. Line change as Johnson and Longstaff depart. Jackson and Shields take their place, and here comes McCasland. McCasland with speed, with Richardson just behind him. McCasland gains the zone. Schmier goes to the net, parks himself there. That huge figure of a man gets moved out of the way by Kratzky. Nielsen. McCasland. McCasland cross ice, shot from Stancock. Bergin tries to have it, big chance out front, and it was Richardson that just shot wide. McCasland back to Nielsen. McCasland helps it on the way. Big hit comes in high as well by Story and Smith, and now Kratzky comes on top of Schmier, and we're going to have a little bit more hugging. Kratzky had to take Schmier. Schmier was just alone right in front of his goalie. No option.
Nottingham, right from the breakout, they swung two guys to the near side here on the near wall, and they just powered up the wall so that they didn't have to dump the puck in on the power play. They kept possession. They had one guy streaking across the blue line. It opened things up, and they basically just walked the puck into Newcastle's zone. And there the shot, McDonald holding on to it, and again, Nottingham doing everything right so far in this game.
Bergin does a pretty good job getting it back. Myers, though, couldn't get there. Beaten to it by Longstaff. Corey Nielsen. Heads up. Wants some options. Gets one off Wallenberg, who's got Moline to his right, but Wallenberg now comes to his right, and it's Bergin who collects. They miss out Moline this time, and Wallenberg gets it. Moline doesn't quite read the play. Intercepted by Longstaff. Longstaff had his stick held there. No penalty called, and it was Kratzky who ends up banging the puck down to Rovniak. 90 seconds remain then, first period. Outlet pass intercepted, this time by Shields. Top of the circle, goes in on his backhand, gets the puck across the crease, but Jackson couldn't get there first, and it's left for Bergin down the left-hand side. Nice pass by Wallenberg to Moline. Bergin is who takes the shot, and he gave up a rebound but got down to it quickly. Ryan McDonald has seen plenty of the puck, hasn't he, Nick? And he's behind his goal now. Yeah, he is. Gomanyuk helps it on its way. Campbell does somehow get his stick to it, and Levers, Ferreira and Myers. And I think one of the big things in this first period is how well this third unit of the Panthers has played. And that maybe is down to Matt Myers. He's a bit of an enigma, Matt Myers, because he skates so well, he's big and strong, handles the puck great, but has got no productivity. And he's been patient on the puck tonight, and he's done an outstanding job. And Ferreira and Levers have worked hard for him as well. It's Myers there who, in a battle with Gomanyuk, 35 seconds remain in the period as Hutchins tries to get the puck round to Campbell, but Myers again, look at him, he's strong on the puck, he protects it well, and he makes a nice pass down the right hand side to Ferreira, who takes a weak shot. Levers had come in, he gets hammered on the boards, and here comes Longstaff with less than 20 seconds left. Longstaff on his backhand side, headmans the puck. Was that offside? It was offside, and David Longstaff with just a ton of frustration, and the Vipers have just got to be careful, Nick, that they don't make the frustration, he doesn't overboil.
And Derek Campbell, you saw him there, he slammed his stick on the ice after he went offside. He wanted Longstaff to feed him up the far wall because he was breaking in with a bit of speed. And again, you know what, Dave, a pass like that on a 3-on-2 when you're outside the blue line, it's never gonna do you any harm, and it builds team morale.
So 9 seconds of this first period. Hutchins makes a pass to Johnson. Johnson with just half a dozen seconds. Hutchins, if he can do it, and scores! Hutchins with a ripper of a wrist shot with less than 2 seconds on the play. An innocent play. And what a momentum change that is. Johnson feeding Longstaff, but what a snapper from Jeff Hutchins.
Wow. That quieted the crowd here. I think I'm a little bit in shock as well, how they gain the zone so easily and then get the shot into the high slot. Look at that, Hutchinson driving it across the blue line.
And maybe Myers there, who slid in front of goalie Rovniuk, maybe just missighted Rovniuk. And all of a sudden, we've got another hockey game. What a momentum change at the end of this first period. Wow, what a good first period it was. Of course, the 2 goals, Danny Myers on the power play for the Panthers, and Jeff Hutchins has levelled it with less than 2 seconds to go in this first period. We're going to be back for a lot more. Don't you dare go away. We'll be back shortly. We'll see you soon. Hey, welcome back to the NIC here in Nottingham. Challenge Cup action. It's the first leg semi-final of the Challenge Cup, and it's the Panthers 1, the Vipers 1, and Rovniak
facing 7 shots in that first period, and McDonald, his counterpart, facing 11. A lot more rubber, but a 1-1 scoreline.
So what's to come then in the middle period of this Challenge Cup semi-final? And big Derek Campbell moves the puck forward, and the speed line is out there to start off with, the Jackson line with Colin Shields. They've got some muscle on it as well in Derek Campbell. Big, powerful skater, but McCaslin, who I think is one of our favourite players, Nick, isn't he? I think we've decided on that. And Myers, the scorer of the Nottingham Panthers, to Nielsen, who Mike Ellis will be looking for. He's looking for some leaders, Mike Ellis. He's lost PC Druin, and I think we find that McCaslin needs some help. Who's going to help him? Maybe Stancock.
Mike Ellis, bar the scoreline, will be happy with his team's performance in that first period. They really did dominate it, and they are unfortunate to start the second period with the scores all notched up at 1.
You know what, Nick? I just look at this Panthers team though, and I expect a little bit more jump from them. They got a lot of good skaters, a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and I'm expecting a bit more jump off them. Will we get it middle period? Jeff Hutchins just loses out. Here's Myers. He did come with a little bit of jump and speed, and he was probably the player of the period in that first session. Peltier hammers one off the boards. McDonald with the stop behind his own goal, leaves it for Kratzky. All a little static at the moment as Levers comes in. Johnson's going to have a moment on the puck. And it's almost, it's stopped. It's stopped.
It's just the first minute there. They're just feeling each other out, and they're going to want to, Vipers aren't going to want to press the play. They're going to want to have a nice controlled breakout and get possession, but unfortunately it looks like they're going to lose it here.
I thought the producers had got the super slow-mo out for a second there. Penalty coming in. It's going to go against an interference call.
David Longstaff might be called for interference on the far wall there. No.
Let's have a look at that again, Nick. Yeah, just an elbow. And then is there a trip afterwards?
It's
going to be the trip, yeah, it's the trip after. So, Newcastle Vipers trailed by 1-0. They scored right at the end of that first period, and now they've got power play time. I don't think we're being rude when we said their first power play tonight was absolutely awful, so let's see if they can get some good puck possession in the offensive zone. That's the blue line in. Nottingham do a good job of clearing into the neutral zone. Newcastle
are going to want to look to their bench. They want to look through their bench and look for a leader to come out, because some of the guys that I expected to come out physical haven't done.
Wroblewski, who's getting power play time. Story comes behind his own goal. Story, who led defensemen scoring in Italy last year, feeds the puck out to the left-hand side to the goal scorer tonight, Hutchins. Hutchins goes round Myers. Wroblewski's just in front of the goal, but he's now moved out of the way. Puck comes all the way back to Shields. Shields on a one-timer to Story, back to Shields, moves the puck quickly, which is what the power play needs to try and move the opposition defence out of the way. Newcastle won a penalty there against Nielsen. They're not going to get it, and Myers clears all the way down the ice. And in the break, in the period break, Nick, we were talking about puck movement and the importance to move that puck quickly.
Yeah, you got to move the puck quickly, and you can see a couple of times Colin Shields on the one point has tried to do it. He's given the puck away a couple of times as well.
McCaslin has skated, and at the moment the Vipers again failing to get any real control on this power play. Can they do it now? They're looking for the puck all the time. It's not just coming to them. Longstaff feeds Story. He headmans the puck and a little bit individual. And on the power play, you can't have individual. There's going to be a hook in minor coming in. Another penalty noticed by Andy Carson. And it's another penalty against the Nottingham Panthers. So Stancock on a hooking call. And now it's the Vipers' turn on the 5-on-3. What do you make of this?
Yeah, Story cutting across the line, and I wouldn't call that hooking. He just had his stick up, maybe a slash maximum, but definitely not hooking. I think Story embellished that a little bit.
Okay, we saw the Panthers on the 5-on-3. Now we're seeing the Vipers on the 5-on-3 with Story. He comes out to Shields, back to Story. Story's waiting for it. Now Hutchins, back to Story. Campbell's in front of the goal. They're moving the puck, but they're not moving it quickly enough. Is it going to be a one-timer from Shields? No. Now Story with a hammer. Shoots and scores with a bullet. And Story
Now I'll tell you what.
is the Story for a 2-1 advantage.
Dave, when Nottingham were on their 5-on-3 earlier on, they had McCaslin in front of the net. He's not known for being that physical. He's a high-quality player. Whereas Newcastle put Derek Campbell right in front of Ravniak's face, and he got in there and he really upset him. You can see him moving around. He's creating a problem right in front of Ravniak. Ravniak goes out to actually push him out of the way, and there's a one-timer from Story. Ravniak's upset because he's had to do that, and Ravniak is saying that Campbell was in the crease. We'll have a look here. Campbell at the top, pretty tight there. He may have been a little bit.
And you know what McCaslin is down here below is saying right now to referee Andy Carson. He's saying, hold on a second, we scored a goal on the power play when a guy was in the crease, and I don't think he was any more in the crease than he was.
I think.
So we're going to have a misconduct coming in against one of the Panthers players. I'm pretty sure Andy Carson's just handed out a 10-minute misconduct. We'll wait and see who that player is. Mark Richardson is with the 10-minute misconduct. You can see Mike Ellis is upset, and I think if he sees this, he'll be rightfully upset.
There's Campbell there. You can see he's in the crease there. Now,
well, I'll tell you what, after the game, we'll have a look, because we'll compare that to the goal that was disallowed. Because I'm telling you, Schmier was a mile out of the crease compared to Campbell there. Andy Carson will have some questions to answer at the end of this one, I'm sure, because earlier on in the first period, if you're just joining us, Nottingham pretty much scored a goal very similar to the one we've just seen the Vipers score, and Andy Carson ruled that wasn't to be a goal because Schmier was in the crease. Well, he was miles out of the crease compared to what Campbell was just.
And I think what Rob Wilson's yelling to his players is get that puck down into the zone and get in front of Ravniak again and cause some problems.
He gets rid of some shoe leather, doesn't he, Rob Wilson on the bench? He's up and down that bench, barking out instructions to his team. And they're still on power play time with Hutchins. A loose puck out in front, and Ravniak dies on top of it, and the whistle blows. Still power play time, 67 seconds left. Longstaff, he's out with Jackson and Payet at centre, and Payet tries to outmuscle McCaslin. McCaslin and Payet face-off victory. Puck comes back, it's only as far as Shields. Story and Shields patrolling the blue line. They throw it behind the net. Jackson can't get there. Longstaff does, gets it out to Story. Story just gets a bit of it, takes the wrist shot, kicked away by Ravniak over the plexiglass, and another face-off just in front of the Panthers goalie. Rob Wilson still thinks he's playing. He's up and down that bench. He's using more energy now than when he played. Nice pass out in front to Payet. Payet down low. Shields sanks in Payet there, and it's a goal, and it's Andre Payet who got his stick to that, and another power play goal for the Vipers. They lead 3-1. The wild thing, Andre Payet has given the Vipers a 2-goal advantage here in the Challenge Cup semi-final.
Well, Dave, we didn't see any of this guy in the first period. He shied away from a few checks. He wasn't looking the Andre Payet that we have seen, and now maybe those coaching changes from Rob Wilson actually did do what he wanted to do. He got Andre out as a center in this line. He wins the draw. He gets to the front of the net, and he gets the rebound, and he chips it over Ravniak for a 3-1 lead. 2 power play goals for the Newcastle Vipers, and Andre Payet has given the Vipers a 3-1 advantage here in this first leg semi-final. The second leg still to come. A 2-legged affair. No away goals or any silly rules like that in ice hockey, not like football. And
A straight battle between these two teams. Moline's looking for Wallenberg. Bergin gets it. 3 men behind the red line. Bergin gets it out to Moline on a one-timer. Fires the puck straight into Gomanyuk's skates. And now Gomanyuk will come. He'll hit the red line and he'll just chip it down. And the Vipers get a change. And Newcastle, wow, what a change.
And this is what they're going to want to do right now, is they're going to want to cross-ice dump, get the puck forecheck. Nottingham, we said it before the game, they're running with 4 D-men. What we expected Newcastle to do in the first period, which they didn't, which is to get puck low into Nottingham zone and punish these 4 defensemen so that they tire out and then they can capitalize on mistakes later on in the game, and that's what it looks like they're starting to do now.
If I was Mike Ellis, one thing that would worry me is if there's one team that can bore you to death, can just clog up the neutral zone, it's the Newcastle Vipers, and they're going to just make it now so very, very difficult for the Nottingham Panthers. Come and get it. Come and try and win this game.
That interview at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, I'll be happy with a 1-goal loss. He won't be happy with a 1-goal loss now, would he?
I think he was feeding you fluff.
Yeah, we'll have a word with him afterwards. Here's Story. And the Panthers have got to come now. They've got to come at the Newcastle Vipers. They've got to try and create something. Interception Myers. The thing is that this Myers line with Levers and Ferreira, they've worked hard, they have created, but you don't see natural goals coming from them. They're a good third unit, but can they actually get some productivity out of that third unit? Peltier gets there first. Ferreira on a nice pass to Levers. Levers skates well and hits the red line. He's going to look to Myers. Myers is going to go to the net. Levers is going to try and get the puck to the net. But excellent work by Kratzky. Nice outlet pass by Jackson to Campbell. Top of the circle, takes a shot, stick side of Rovniak's goal. Jackson comes in, hacking and chopping there from Stancock, but Levers it is who gets it back to Peltier. Peltier who, again, can't quite clear his zone, all the way back to Stancock. Stancock's got Schmier waiting for it down the left-hand side, but hangs on to the puck a little long and now has to circle back for some more options. McCaslin waits, doesn't get it. Wallenberg does, but they lose possession quickly. This is a puck possession game as well. The team who holds on to the puck the longest normally creates the most chances, and creates the most chances, scores the most goals.
You got to have the puck to win, but if you have the puck down low in your zone, you're not going to score from there. And Newcastle are doing a really good job shutting the neutral zone down right now.
Schmier with a nice pass. McCaslin does a great job. Schmier goes to the net. McCaslin shoots the puck at McDonald, and it was Nielsen actually who did a good job going to the net on that occasion. We've seen a line change, and Myers has moved up a line, and Myers has now moved onto the line with Moline and Bergen. So Mike Ellis has made his move there, or he's made a move. He's seen that Myers is having a good night, and he thought he'll try and get some productivity out of him, and he's moved him up. Another penalty coming in, and it's going to be, is that a high stick?
I think it's a high sticking call, yeah, hitch him down on the ice. We'll see if he's cut or not.
And it's going to be Moline. More power play time for the Newcastle Vipers as Moline makes his way to the penalty box and Hutchins makes his way to the dressing room, maybe for a couple of fly stitches.
Yeah, we'll see if he's cut, because that could affect the penalty. But obviously no blood, just a 2-minute minor for high sticking.
Well, Johan Moline, he's 3'7" when he's on his skate, so a high stick to him means he's probably just wrapped a guy around the knees. Payet and Levers get kicked out of the circle, so Jackson and Myers come in. More power play time. 2 quick power play goals in this second period for the Newcastle Vipers. Give them the 3-1 advantage. If they could get a third power play goal here, it might be game, set and match for the Vipers against the Nottingham Panthers. They get puck possession with Payet. Get it out to Jackson. Jackson's got Longstaff and finds him. Payet's going to go to the net. Now he's going to come and help Jackson. He does. The goal scorer, Andre Payet, gets the puck back to Story. Payet's such a confident player when he's confident, and that boost, he's just going to the boost of scoring such a big goal here, he's going to be a completely different player now.
Well, he didn't exist in the first period.
Didn't exist at all.
No.
He was sulking in the first period, but he's been a different guy. Here's David Longstaff, feeds the puck out in front. Jackson couldn't get to it. Story sags low. Here is Andre Payet. He'll leave it for Shields. Shields on a backhand to David Longstaff. Longstaff to Story. He's already got one. Hammer, loose puck out in front. Another chance for the Vipers. And now it's Nielsen who moves Payet, and Payet's having none of it, and Nielsen and Payet square off there at each other. Longstaff comes in. Here's a man with good speed. Jackson tries to find Payet. Perhaps not one of Andre's greatest attributes, speed, and he couldn't quite get to that one. Nielsen hammers off the boards. Goulet goes to collect. Very underestimated defenseman, Goulet. Very smooth on the puck. Moves the puck forward to Longstaff. Longstaff hits the blue line. Cuts inside. It's going to be a drop pass, and it is to Jackson, who had the stick of Bergin round him. Jackson still got it. Tries to find Payet, and those lines have changed, haven't they? And Andre Payet's done something to impress his coach, because Payet's now up on one of the bigger lines.
He scored a goal.
And has come to play as well, hasn't he? He's come to play.
But you know what I want to see him now in this period is take the body a lot more. And like you say, Nottingham running with 4D. You want to start punishing these guys.
Here's Gomanyuk. Gomanyuk's going round Stancock. Payet's waiting for the drop pass, and good. I mean, he's such a powerful man, that Gomanyuk. But nice work from Peltier. Can't get the puck to Moline, though. And the Newcastle Vipers, they've just swapped shirts, haven't they? And it's just left to right. It must be a downhill rink, because it was Nottingham in the first period, but it's all Newcastle in the second
Newcastle
session.
couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together in the first period, and Nottingham were looking very, very slick, and now it has reversed. Nottingham having a hard time sticking 2 or 3 passes together.
Hutchins can't quite get to that. Peltier does, and Peltier then running to the boards by Wroblewski. Myers comes in for some moral support. He's got Ferreira in front of him, but skates around, and that's what he can do so well, Myers. And now there's going to be a penalty for interference against Peltier.
But
oh, and Hutchins for diving.
he's calling Hutchins for diving. Peltier, I was going to say right now, what you have to do if you're Nottingham is you got to help your guys out, because Newcastle are running an aggressive forecheck. So what you've got to do is you got to help your guys out. You got to be down there low to support them.
The people back home watching this for the first time, Nick, are going to say, how can a guy get an interference call and then the other guy get a diving call? It has to be one or the other. Is it interference or is it diving?
Oh, it is an interference call. He runs a pick. Look at right there. Boom. That's a pick.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that Hitchens embellished it. If he would have just taken the hit, gone into the corner, he didn't have to lose his footing. It would have still been called an interference call. But because he embellished it, referee Andy Carson says you're going to sit for 2 as well.
The polite word is unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll call it diving. Nielsen goes behind the goal of Rovignac. We're 4-on-4 here at the NIC, the big ice surface. Can the Panthers get something going? McCaslin takes a shot into the glove, over the glove of McDonald. And look away, the puck goes all the way back round to Rovignac's goal. Rovignac has to move the puck quickly because Longstaff was coming in. Nielsen on the brakes and Johnson finishes. Good forecheck from the Vipers. A little slow-footedness from the Nottingham Panthers. Myers. Heads up play, scored the opening goal for the Panthers, the only Nottingham goal so far in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. First leg here at the Ice Centre in Nottingham. 55 seconds left on the 2 penalties as Myers tries to feed Bergin. And there's hacking and chopping and a breakaway. It's Todd Jackson versus Rovignac. Jackson versus Rovignac. He shoots off the post. I thought he had Rovignac beaten, and Jackson's fired one off the post. It's not all over yet. Campbell back to Jackson. Jackson, I think, is exhausted after his volley forward. Now McCaslin at the other end. Oh, big chance for the Vipers. Big chance. Now it's the Panthers with levers back to McCaslin. But the Vipers are going to have a chance to clear, and they do. The puck just dribbles over that blue line. Bergin moves the puck forward to Moline, intercepted Story. Campbell helps it on its way. Back to Rovignac, who didn't know too much about Jackson's effort. Oh, and Bergin's just lost out to Johnson. Johnson's looking for some support. Goulet with a hammer into the glove of Rovignac. But what a chance for Jackson, Nick. Could have sewn it up.
There you can see, let's see how the puck just feeds out. I'm not sure if that was a pass or if it was a giveaway, but either way, Jackson gets it. Beats Rovignac and off the post.
So here come the Panthers then. Just 10 seconds remaining on the 2 penalties. We're 4-on-4 with Wallenberg. Wallenberg and Moline. Wallenberg tries to stand up, so go round Goulet. Goulet just stood him up. Penalties are expired. We're back 5-on-5 as Goulet gets the puck round the board. Peltier out the box a little quicker. Gets the shot right into the chest of McDonald. And he'll save those all day long. The Nottingham Panthers, a home team here. They're playing the music. They're trying to get the crowd into this one. And at the moment, the Panthers crowd, well, they're looking for some inspiration from their players. And they're not getting too much of it right now. Stancock. Robert Stancock, second spell with Nottingham, gives it to Richardson. Heads up play by the youngster. Gets it out to Peltier, but he had to take it in his skates. Wasn't a good pass. Gomanyuk can't quite clear. Weak backhand. Shot coming in from an acute angle from McCaslin. Johnson will clear high off the glass, only as far as Ben Campbell. Campbell and Payet do well, and they just move the puck into the neutral zone. So Ben Campbell getting a shift for the Vipers, but Peltier rips one just over the blocker side. Door open on the Panthers bench as Moline sneaks out. Here is Johan Moline. Moline backhand pass to Wallenberg. Where's Kevin Bergen? He's on the left-hand side. He picks the puck up, gets the cycle going. Moline leaves it. Collected Wallenberg, pulls a lovely move inside. Wallenberg looking for Moline, who's found acres of space in front. Still Moline, he's out in front. Here is Moline, takes a shot. Good save, rebound. Gomanyuk helps his goalie out there. But not once, but twice, but 3 times did Johan Moline have acres of space right in front of McDonald's goal.
Unbelievable. And you see him when he gets the puck here. I think he's almost surprised. What? No one's around me? And he lets the shot away to McDonald's glove side. McDonald, one of the unsung heroes. We've seen a lot of good goalies. This guy, he isn't spectacular, but he shows up absolutely every night. He's extremely solid backstopper. Point blank shot on net. I think he was even surprised.
Nielsen, ripper, puck out in front. Jackson clears. Nielsen has got a bullet, hasn't he? Heavy shot.
Yeah.
Heavy shot. Doesn't do a lot else for me, Nielsen, but he has got a heavy shot. Moves the puck quickly there, gets it forward to Levers. Levers just gets a little bit of it. Kratzky moves the puck around the board, only as far as Ferreira. Levers again. And this line will work hard, it'll have good puck possession, but can it create? Can it create something? Myers is out in front. Chance there as well for Levers, who had got in front of McDonald's goal. Hammer from Levers on the boards there. Neal intercepts, chips it down low. Rovniak gets the puck to Nielsen. Nielsen with a long outlet pass. Matt Myers gets there. Myers, good work by Matt Myers. Good persistence by Matt Myers. But now it's the Vipers that come with Longstaff. It's just end to end. It's a little scrappy at the moment. Neither team now are putting 2 passes together. But Newcastle kind of don't need to. They just got to keep good possession and make sure they're smart defensively. Hutchins does a nice feed from Longstaff. Still with Jeff Hutchins, gets the puck forward. Johnson had made his way to the front of the net. And now Ferreira. Pass out to McCaslin. McCaslin gets a slash. No penalty on that. McCaslin then goes high. Still McCaslin.
Funny bounce off the glass.
Schmier back out to Peltier. Peltier rings a shot and scores! He got a deflection! I think he might have got a deflection of Mark Richardson, and all of a sudden the NIC wake up. The Panthers wake up, and this Challenge Cup semi-final first leg, it's not over by a long shot. It's the Panthers 2, the Vipers 3.
And Dave, you know, that came from McCaslin skating in the ice. He had no other option except to let one go. And here's the shot from Peltier from the point. I'm not sure if that did take a deflection, but at least Nottingham had guys in front of the net getting their butts right in McDonald's face and causing some havoc. Again, no big wind-up either. You don't need that big wind-up.
It is Peltier, but he got a deflection off the Newcastle Vipers player who dived in front of the puck. Just took a deflection off him. Here comes Jackson with speed, top of the circle. It's the hash marks. What a great play, Peltier. Putting his head, his face, his body in front of the puck. And Peltier has just given an injection to the Nottingham Panthers right now with that goal. And then at the other end, equally as important, Peltier then dives in front of the puck because Jackson's speed had created great chance for the Newcastle Vipers. Oh, we've got a game on now, folks.
We do. I was saying McCaslin, when he had nothing to go, he had a shot, went off of McDonald and then high up off the glass. It took a funny bounce. Instead of carrying out of the zone, it went into the high slot area.
Myers got the first one, Hammers with the second shot. McDonald makes the save. Ferreira with the second shot. But you know what, Peltier, he's a defenseman. He scored a goal, got his team back in it. What, 10, 15 seconds later at the other end.
And he comes back, and that's, you know, that's what Nottingham have got to do. They've got guys like Nielsen and Peltier and McCaslin. They need to look up to them in these moments of need. And Peltier has stepped up to the plate with a great goal and also an awesome defensive play down at the other end. You can see here, look at face right in the way to block the pass, and he shuts it all down, shuts the passing lane down.
I like a player who does that. I like a player who's prepared to get his nose dirty. Longstaff, chance out in front for Jeff Hutchins on a redirect, and Rovniak screaming at Corey Nielsen there. Penalties, that got to be a penalty against Myers. No for tripping, no. Ferreira leaves it now for Myers, comes down the other end.
I think Andy Carson's going to let these teams play and open things up 5-on-5.
Myers with a gorgeous move, backhand forehand, goal! Matt Myers has tied it on the move of all moves. We said he was having a great night. The defenseman, though, let him walk around the outside of him. He made a beautiful move outside, inside, and he got the puck through McDonald. We're tied at 3.
Oh, a great individual effort by Myers, working outside wide. A player who's got a one-on-one opportunity. You can see skating through the neutral zone, heads up, goes wide on Kratzky, drags it from the out inside to the out, drives into the net, gets the shot away, and it just trickles in between McDonald's
legs. You know what? Trickles off his skates as well.
Great play again. Fakes to go inside, goes outside, puts the head down, and drives it to the net.
Well, you know what? I think 3 or 4 times we've seen Nottingham Panthers on Sky. Every game we've commented on Myers having all the ability and no productivity. Well, tonight he's been as good as any player on the ice, and he's now got a goal as well. And wow, what a goal, and wow, what an important goal. And that makes Peltier's stop at the other end even more valuable. This is end-to-end stuff. First the Panthers, then the Vipers, and now the Panthers are back in it, and now here comes Campbell. 40 seconds, Campbell takes a shot, deflected or intercepted by Richardson, who clears through the neutral zone. But Kratzky, he'll be so disappointed he didn't take the body and let Myers walk around him. He'll know about it when he gets into the dressing room and Rob Wilson gets hold of him. Peltier off the glass, and now into the fans. Whistle blows, and we have a time to take a break.
Yeah, and if you're Kratzky on this play, what you want to do, your team's only got a 1-goal lead. You got Myers, who's about 2 feet shorter than him, who's driving around wide. What you got to pile drive him into the ice, Dave. You got to get physical on him. Look at him. He's skating through the neutral zone. There's Kratzky. He's heads up. He can play him, but he's going down to try and block a shot. He's got to level Myers there.
That 12 for the Newcastle Vipers, remind me, is that Kratzky or Jane Torville? I want my defenseman to... Have you seen the size of Kratzky?
Better look at the Jane Torville.
He's 6 foot. He's about 6'5", that Kratzky.
And why did he could have just pile drive Myers into the ice when your team's got a 1-goal lead.
Myers should be in the car park right now.
The guy's driving through the neutral zone untouched. Someone's got to try and take his head off.
I don't know if Kratzky can speak much English, but when he watches this, Kratzky, you should have stopped him. And you let him walk around you, but good work from Myers nonetheless.
Myers, you know what? You've got to give Myers all the credit for keeping his feet moving, his head up, and he really took Kratzky's shorts off with a great move.
Window or all seat for Kratzky, maybe. We'll see. End of the second period, though. We're tied at 3, and what a period we've had. 4 goals in it. First of all, 2 for the Vipers, then 2 for the Nottingham Panthers. Who'd have thought it? We are tied at 3 in the Challenge Cup semi-final. First leg here at the NIC. 6 goals gone. We've still got a period to go. Go put the kettle on, but I'll be back. We're going to be back soon with the third and final period. A goal fest in the second period at the NIC. 1-1 when we enter the second period. 3-3 now at the end of 2 periods. Shots on goals, 12 against Rovniak, 10 against McDonald, Nick.
Well, Dave, one word for that period: pride. Hockey players have a lot of pride, and Newcastle came out in the first period very, very flat. They showed a lot of pride in the second coming back. And Nottingham, very flat for 15 minutes of that second intermission, or that second period, and they showed a lot of pride, came back, and we got a 3-3 scoreline. And also, don't forget, 4 periods of hockey left.
Exactly, 4 periods of hockey. The reason for that is, don't worry, you haven't got to reset your video tonight for another 2 hours. You know, just over a week's time, these two battle it out up at Newcastle in the second leg. Who's going to be the victors over 6 periods? Story is just out of sorts there and loses a foot race to Richardson. Richardson helps it on its way to McCaslin. And Kratzky, who probably had a bit of a rollicking, I would have thought, at the end of the second period, for the way he let Matt Myers walk around him. For the tying goal, the 3-3 goal, there is Kratzky again. So big, so strong. Gets it out to Campbell, just chips it down. So he goes and gets a change. And the Longstaff line with Sean Johnson, and Jeff Hutchins comes on to replace it. We've talked about momentum changes, you know, right at the end of the first period, a period that the Nottingham Panthers had pretty much dominated and owned. It's going to be a lot of possession for the Panthers and then the counter-punch from the Vipers. That's my view in this third session anyway. Here's Campbell trying to prove me wrong, and here's Myers, who I think has been outstanding tonight. Myers with a pass to Levers, and Kratzky, who he just has to work hard, doesn't he, to get the feet going, Kratzky, and finishes with a punch to the back of the head on Levers. I wouldn't like to be on the end of it.
That's how Kratzky's got to play, because you know he's not the most mobile guy around, but he's so big. He's got to use that physical size to his advantage and crush guys.
Yeah, he's got to be mean. He's got to bully people, especially when he's out on the ice against people like Levers. Story, I'm surprised, yes, he's going to come up for a penalty coming here. It's going to be Story, is it? Yeah, interference call on Story. Power play time for the Nottingham Panthers. Not what Rob Wilson will want from his team early in this final period.
No, of course, Story with an early goal for the Vipers, and now getting called in the third period here for interference. He's going to put his team one man down.
Story just trying to get his body in the way there. That's what interference is most times. So 2-minute power play for the Panthers. Panthers in their white uniform. Left to right, but Sean Johnson can't clear his zone. It goes all the way back to Gomanyuk. Gomanyuk's time on the puck, and he fans on it. Oh, and he got away with it.
Dave, it's how these teams work, how they throw in your forechecking system. And if you are running an aggressive forecheck, you need guys to help out. And if one team's being particularly aggressive on the forecheck, then you do normally have those guys helping out. And that's where those interference calls are being called.
Good outlet pass from McCaslin. Richardson holds on to the puck, now finds it forward. Gooden gets it forward only as far as, Schmier gets it forward, only as far as McCaslin, who couldn't quite control. Schmier will make his way back. No, he doesn't. He hangs out there. And when Schmier's on the ice on the power play, you have to think that the idea is just to get puck possession down low and then puck hammered out over the plexiglass right into the fans. Be interesting. I hope nobody called that.
I'll tell you what, Nottingham Panthers fans from the old days, they know what it's like to be right on top of a hockey game and a hockey rink. They probably got some pretty tough fans down there.
There's more scars on the Panthers fans than there are on the Panthers players. The old linesman having a whoops, we go. There we are.
Nielsen taking the body, but the wrong body to take.
But you get my point on the power play. They've changed their lines out now. But when Schmier's on the ice, they've got to be looking to gain possession, make the nice plays, and then, try and use Schmier as in front. A different lineup now on the ice as Wallenberg has it, gets it back to Nielsen. Nielsen and Wallenberg change over. Hammer now from Wallenberg, fires it, and Wallenberg rips it top shelf. Oh, Michael motorcycle. Wallenberg for a 4-3 advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was just going to say to you that, how they're moving the puck around, but again, McCaslin is parked in front of the net. And a guy of that quality, you think that's where you want a guy like Schmier to get his face right in his butt right in McDonald's face. But McCaslin doing a great job down low to cause a little bit of interference. And Wallenberg, really, to tell you the truth, Dave, that shot would have beaten any goalie.
Any goalie in any league, that shot beats.
That was just a perfect shot from Wallenberg.
Ring the bell, knock the door. Patrick Wallenberg's just come to the party, and the Nottingham Panthers lead the Vipers by 4-3. I said he was the one to watch. He's the man that's given the Panthers the advantage. And that's what you want from Wallenberg. He has the ability to do that, and that's what his coach wants more of. Still on the power play. Gomanyuk sitting out. 5-on-3 power play goal then for the Panthers. Nice feed by Nielsen as well. They crossed, so they were on the opposite sides, and Nielsen did good work feeding Wallenberg for that one-timer. And interesting, that's the first time that Mike Ellis has put Wallenberg on the point, because it had been Stancock or it had been Myers, but that's played alongside Nielsen. Rob Wilson, what's he going to be thinking? He's biting those nails. They've conceded 3 straight, from 3-1 up to 4-3 down. And we said, did we not, that the Vipers were a team that could hold on to a lead. They were a team that would suffocate in the neutral zone. But they've taken penalties, and power play goals have cost the Newcastle Vipers here at the NIC. Here's Richardson. Top of the circle, goes forehand, backhand, cuts into the side. Big Schmeer's out in front. And I think for the Newcastle Vipers, it was lucky it was Schmeer, because he couldn't get his stick down to it. And it's now the Nottingham Panthers with good possession and the fans supporting them. And in between the second and third period, somebody must have opened the doors at the NIC, because all of a sudden the Panthers fans have appeared and they're getting behind their team here in Nottingham. It's Nielsen with 20 seconds on the power play. Shoots it. It's all Nottingham at the moment. McCaslin can't quite control. Hutchins gets to it. Can't clear. Nielsen cuts inside. Goes backhand. Glove save by McDonald. Gorgeous move by Corey Nielsen as he cut inside. It wouldn't sit for him. And he went back, forehand, backhand, and he got it upstairs. And McDonald got to the puck. And the building's just woken up, Nick.
It has. And, you look at Nielsen on the point. He's got Peltier back there. 2 right-handed shots. Now, this is why Wallenberger was so good on the 5-on-3, because he was a left-handed shot on that one side. Now we got 2 right-handed shots on the point.
Richardson with the face-off win. Nielsen gets the puck quickly to the net. Schmeer couldn't get there quicker as the puck, though. And here comes Johnson down. Hits the red line. Takes a long shot as Nielsen finishes a hit on Johnson. Peltier collects as Gomanyuk comes back onto the ice, and we're back 5-on-5, and that means icing. Johnson loses out in the circle to Levers, who's been successful at face-offs tonight. Peltier couldn't get him much past Hutchins, and then Hutchins can't do a good job getting it deep. Peltier comes down, and now it's Stancock. And he just loses out there, and Hutchins came in and took the body. Myers, ask you an interesting question in a minute, and it will be an interesting question, Nick, in the next break, and that will be, think of the answer to this one. Will Rob Wilson now take a 1-goal defeat in this first leg? We'll answer that in a moment, but Longstaff fails to clear the zone, and then Levers dillies and dallies, and he leaves it for Jackson. Jackson with quick hands and quick feet, but he pulls one too many moves on Danny Myers, and Myers has little problem moving the puck forward. Gomanyuk gets it back to his defensive partner Goulet. Heads up play by Goulet back to Gomanyuk. Gomanyuk forward. Campbell gets a bit of it. And Jackson's got to go and chase hard, and Jackson finishes on Nielsen. Long outlet pass to Wallenberg. Wallenberg to Moline. Moline. Patience, gets it back to Myers. Opened the scoring for the Panthers. Chips it round the back of the net. Goulet loses out on a foot battle there with Bergen. Now Wallenberg again. Puck's just going to be... Surely nobody can see that. Moline's gone digging for it. Campbell gives him a funny look. That man's done a good job, though. He's turned it around. Mike Ellis.
He has. Oh, Mike Ellis done one heck of a job to turn it around for his home team here.
Myers. Nielsen on a bullet right into the belly button of McDonald.
Got a holding call coming up. Right in front of the net. I think Kratzky's going to get called for holding. Again, it's a defenseman's job to clear in front of his goalie and keep his goalie's line of sight to the puck clear. But you can't wrap your hands around anybody.
Can the Nottingham Panthers stick a knife right into the heart of the Newcastle Vipers? A power play goal here and a 2-goal advantage as they would go into a second leg. Let's wait and see. We've had power play goals tonight from both teams. Here's Nielsen. He's key on the power play, but his pass couldn't be controlled by Mark Richardson, and his story can get there first, but he can't because of outstanding work by McCaslin. McCaslin should have been second favourite to that every day of the week, and now another penalty coming the way. Now it's going against Story.
And he's going to be called for holding, Dave.
5-on-3 time, folks.
Slashing, sorry. He's going to be getting a slashing call.
91 seconds then that could determine a Challenge Cup semi-final. 4-3 the Panthers lead. You'll see the slash there, and there, and there, and there, and there.
Yeah, that's the zero tolerance. Any other time that would be fine. Just give a guy a tap, let him know you're there, but you hit a guy's glove, you're putting him off.
In the second period, the Newcastle Vipers had a 5-on-3. They scored on the 5-on-3. They scored on the 5-on-4 that followed, and that gave them a 3-1 advantage. If Nottingham can do anything like that, it could be Challenge Cup determining. Moline sinks low.
There you've got Wallenberg
Here's
and
Wallenberg.
Nielsen now.
Big shot comes in from Nielsen. Two hammers here. And as Nick said, they cross right hand and the left hand. Nielsen, Wallenberg. He scored from there only a moment ago. Down low is Bergin. We're waiting for Wallenberg on the one-timer. It's Nielsen. Oh, it deflected and it fell to Bergin. Bergin waits for an option. Everybody sank really low. Wallenberg with a hammer and he just goes wide. Ricochets wide. Nielsen with 50 seconds. Back to Wallenberg. Bang straight into the knee and Gomanyuk hasn't flinched. Not Gomanyuk, it's Goulet. Now the Panthers fail to get the puck out to Goulet.
Johnson and Goulet stopping more shots than than McDonald out there.
McCaslin gives it to Wallenberg. McCaslin wants it. McCaslin has it. Went 5-hole and now Johnson clears. And Johnson's anxious to get off, but he can't get off because here comes the puck straight back to him. 25 seconds on the 5-on-3. Who's waiting for it? Here's Corey Nielsen. Gives it to Moline. Back to Nielsen. Wallenberg on a one-timer. Didn't fall to him. Nielsen hammers. And Gomanyuk just gets his glove to it. Back to Nielsen. Moline. Oh, and it fell to Bergin and it just came to him too quickly. Wallenberg. Nielsen into the chest. Moline. Bergin can't get there on the back door. 5-on-3, 3 seconds. Nielsen. Ricochet. McCaslin. McDonald's got it. Gomanyuk runs over. And now we have some pushing and shoving. And I don't think Moline's going to want to get involved. Why would Moline want to get involved with Gomanyuk? But
you know, I don't think any of the guys had any gas and the tanks left to fight there anyway. So it's just guys at the end of a really, really good power play opportunity for the Nottingham Panthers.
Well, Sean Johnson has been out there for the whole 2 minutes of that kill.
Unbelievable. You can see McDonald, the puck underneath them, and all the guys standing up for each other. Gomanyuk out there, he blocked a couple of shots. Johnson blocked a couple of shots. Great PK, great braveness from the Newcastle Vipers.
Story.
I get all his man of the match beer. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Agreement we have, yeah.
Nielsen combines with Myers. I wonder who's the happier of the two coaches at the moment. Well, I can't help but thinking that Ellis will be thinking to himself, God, that's a chance missed. Kratzky steps up. Good job he got there first.
I think Rob Wilson will be, like I say, go back to that 2-goal lead and in 2 legs of hockey, giving up a 2-goal lead early on like that, it'll deflate you a little bit. Be upset when he was expecting to come in here and battle and grind. You know, like you say, maybe a draw or even going down 1-0.
Kratzky's just gone through Levers, but then he couldn't catch Wallenberg. Ferreira chips the puck down and Levers goes into a corner and Kratzky finishes hard on him. Here's Patrick Wallenberg. Wallenberg's been outstanding. Loose puck out, Moline couldn't get to it, Story got to it and just fires it down all the way down, and icing will be called. Well, Peltier touches the puck. Newcastle, if they're going to get back into this game, they've got to stay 5-on-5, haven't they? They can't take any more daft penalties. It's the Vipers in yellow, it's the Panthers in white. It's the first leg of the Challenge Cup semi-final here at the NIC. The Panthers fans were on their hands for, well, a period and a half, 2 periods maybe. But they're certainly on the edge of their seats right now because they lead 4-3 and their team has done a great job coming back. Wallenberg has certainly come to the party here at the NIC for the Challenge Cup and he's led his team. McCaslin has been everything we would expect McCaslin to be. And Matthew Myers, who in my opinion has been as good as any player on the ice and has been a shining light. Here is Wallenberg. Wallenberg gets it out. Well, he doesn't get it out to Moline. He takes a shot instead. Campbell, who's on the right-hand side. Here's Colin Shields. Colin Shields shoots and Colin Shields scores with a bullet. I was just going to say, Colin Shields, where have you been all night? Well, he's just turned up with 7:54 left and he's tied it at 4. You'd have to be here to believe it.
That crystal ball of yours is working, isn't it, eh?
I tell you, I am the font of all knowledge.
Nottingham absolutely with tons and tons of pressure with the power plays, opportunities, and then Ravniak maybe not facing a lot of rubber. All of a sudden, a great pass by Derek Hamill to open up Colin Shields on the far side. Shields on his strong side and lets a ripper through. And we got a tie game.
As soon as that puck went out to Shields, And I'm commentating, I'm thinking to myself, oh, Colin Shields. Can't remember the last time we saw Colin Shields. And then he joins the party with a ripper.
Guilty of some puck giveaways on the power play in the first period. And here we go.
Andre Payet versus Ryan Schmier. The wild thing in yellow against Ryan Schmier. Payet going with the left jab to start off with. Schmier throws the big bomb of a right. Another bomb of a right. Payet, one over the top, another over the top. Payet the more aggressive in the fight. Schmier coming back. And Payet's trying to land a couple more. Loses his balance. The Panthers cheer. The Panthers fans cheer. But I don't think Schmier caught Payet. I think Payet just lost balance there. Good job by Andre Payet. Ron Schmier says it was me that won that one.
Well, you know what?
Even fight.
And it ain't over. We're going to see that a lot more. Right now, Schmier's giving it the big.
What's Schmier doing down there?
Well, that to me, Schmier's saying he's got the heavyweight champion belt right now. And this is what I don't like. And I'm sure he's enjoying it. But you know what? Go out there, fight a guy if you have to fight a guy. To get in the penalty box, sit down and shut up.
We're still tied at 4. We've had fights, we've had great goals, we've had big hits, we've had big saves, we've had breakaways. It's Elite League hockey at its very best here on Sky Sports. And this game has got just under 8 minutes left, and we've had an 8-goal thriller here.
And you know what? Like I say, that ain't over. That's just round, I imagine, 2 or 3 of a season-long battle between those two guys.
Longstaff fires one right through the legs of Nielsen. And Rumniak only just got there to it pretty late. But the Panthers goalie made the stop. Nielsen, he's asking for something. In his pizza order, he wants some movements in front of him, and he's getting nothing
well,
from his players.
Well, the guys are up high on the breakout. What you have to, you know, now you'll see guys filling in lanes.
And that was just frustration, I think, as he hammered.
Yeah, he's got everyone up high
zone.
saying, you know, give me the puck, but he's got to try and find routes to get it there.
Moline gets the puck round to Bergen. I think Nielsen frustrated. Bergen on his knees. Still Bergen. On his knees, he's taller than Moline. Moline gets it out. Oh, and Levers a millisecond earlier, and he'd have been a free. Peltier, who I do like. Every time I see him, I do like him. There's Bergen. He hasn't got a lot of options. Who's going to go to the net? It's going to be Levers, but Bergen just throws one into the glove of McDonald, and he gets the face-off in the offensive zone as well. Just over 6 minutes to go. Third period, no overtime. Who's going to take an advantage into that second leg? Is any team going to take an advantage? I suppose if it's 4-4, you have to say Newcastle take the advantage. Myers moves the puck forward. Here's McCaslin. McCaslin fires one, but you could just see, look where McDonald is. He came out. He gave McCaslin just nowhere at all to shoot the puck. Matt Myers out on the line now with Bergin and Wallenberg as Mike Ellis shuffles his pack again. Newcastle move the puck forward down the right-hand side. They don't seem too keen to go and chase it too hard. And maybe that's Rob Wilson saying, I'll take 4-4. Johnson working his backside off at the moment, just trying to get back there and help out as Wallenberg tried to take the puck into the zone. I think Newcastle will be happier and will take this 4-4. Here's Jeff Hutchins, just bangs one off the boards, keep everything to the outside. Peltier chips back in again. McDonald with the stop. Goulet, backhand, and now it's the Nottingham Panthers. They're not forechecking heavily either.
And that's what Nottingham want to do right now. If Newcastle are clogging up their blue line, then Nottingham want to chip it round behind them, and then if they can gain the zone with speed, they'll get possession down low and try and set things up. Because again, with that zero tolerance, you can't hold guys up who are forechecking.
They've got to want to get to that puck first, though, haven't they, in the corner? They've got to be prepared to pay the price. And with just 4.5 minutes left in a first leg of a semi-final, our team's going to want to pay that price. Or are they going to settle for this 4-4 tie? We'll only find out in the next 4 minutes. Levers gets taken down by the Viper. Here comes Nielsen. Nielsen heads up. He's looking for some options. Where are my options, he's thinking. Jackson moves the puck forward.
Oh, Andy Carson will need a Radox bath after that one.
Story. Is he going to come east to west? He does. He goes east to west. He finds Kratzky. Kratzky just hits the red line. Fires one off the glass. Campbell has been prepared, and he'll get to that loose puck first. Campbell's got Shields one way, Jackson the other. He's big and strong, Campbell. Can he keep the rotation going? He tries to hold Myers. He's got his hold of Myers, but now Nielsen comes with the puck. Into the final 4 minutes. Corey Nielsen, line change for the Panthers. Moline. He's down the right-hand side. Here comes Moline. He's going to get hit here by Langstaff, but Moline still got the puck. Moline taken down, but no, Moline still got it. Good play by Moline. Still Moline. Puts the brakes on. Kratzky pushes him, but Moline still got the puck. Wallenberg's gone to the front of the net. Kratzky finishes. Moline comes in for some moral support and help. The two Swedes battling in the corner, but now it's Johnson. Good work by Moline there. Just held on to the puck. Longstaff, he's prepared to go into a corner first. Stancock just takes it off him. Hit comes in this time from Hutchins. That was on Peltier. McCaslin, blue line, Ripper into the pads. Oh, and fanned on the rebounded Gomanyuk. Still McCaslin. Everything goes on net. Directs everything at net. Sean McCaslin as we enter the final 3 minutes.
Yeah, McDonald with a good save. Gets his pads down low really quickly. Again, he's a really solid goaltender. Doesn't ever look truly spectacular, but night in and night out, he shows up for the Vipers.
Important face-off. Important face-off for the Nottingham Panthers. Myers tries to get to the puck. Can't do so. Nielsen. Matt Myers. Chips it into the opposite corner. Bergin goes to get it. Kevin Bergin. He's looking for some options. Who are the options? Oh, he does it himself. Good play by Kevin Bergin. You've got to do something with it. He does. He gives it to Matt Myers. Now Bergen's got to go to the net. Here's Myers. He's already done this once. Lovely backhand pass out to Richardson. And Myers, when he gets on his toes like that, he's like a wrecking machine. So there is Matt Myers.
And I think he's going to be our man of the match, Dave, no matter what. He's been the guy that we've seen for the last 58 minutes. It's been there minute for minute.
Here's Moline. Moline to win it. He scores! He scores! He goes in alone! And Moline for the Nottingham Panthers. We've got a 5-4 hockey game. The Vipers complain. They go to the referee and linesman. But Moline has his one clear-cut chance, and he beat McDonald, and as that goal won it for the Panthers.
Well, that pass up the middle from Nielsen, he's been the quarterback, and he's been the quarterback so far for the Nottingham Panthers. He finds Moline. Moline going around Kratzky. Kratzky getting caught flat-footed there for the Newcastle Vipers.
Should Kratzky have just taken Moline out? Was that just a great play from Moline? Moline's just got great speed, hasn't he?
He does have great speed, but Kratzky's got to be moving. You got to see that. You got to see Nielsen with the puck. Look at the guys who are moving and coming in on your zoning. Start pedaling backwards.
And be the defensive side of that forward.
Well, he was for a second, but Moline's so fast he blasted right by him.
Kind of lost our way there with Matt Myers.
Yeah, sorry
what?
about
Moline's
that,
played well.
You're the man of the match, buddy.
Wallenberg's played well. McCaslin's played well. But I just think, a guy who's come to play tonight is that Matt Myers. And he's made some great plays. And he got some energy in that third unit. But Moline has just given the Nottingham Panthers a huge boost. Here he is again. Steps inside, takes a shot, got deflected. I wonder if we'll see Kratzky again. I think Kratzky's going to have nightmares of Moline and the speedy Panther forwards. Here's Wallenberg on his backhand, gets taken down by Story. Penalty against Story. And the last 60-odd seconds, 80-odd seconds of this game is going to be on the Nottingham Panthers power play.
Dave, we talk about momentum, right? And with momentum, you feel good. You get your legs going. You feel that energy. And that's what's happened here is Nottingham, they're driving around the Vipers. Ben Story there had to take the guy down. He just takes him a little tap around the ankle. There you can see it's definitely a tripping call as Wallenberg using his feet, using the drive, going out wide. Not a scoring opportunity, but Story taking him down. Rob Wilson not going to be happy.
He's come all the way down his bench. He shakes his head. Takes a walk up his bench now.
He's got nothing to complain about because that was a tripping call.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Whether he's happy or not, I think he'll be happy now with just a one-goal deficit going into the second leg up in Newcastle. But can the Nottingham Panthers double that advantage. Here's McCaslin. Myers. 65 seconds on the clock. Nice intercept by Jackson. Jackson does a great job on McCaslin. Now Jackson, but he's all on his own. He's got to find somebody. Did he find Gomanyuk? Gomanyuk's going to finish hard on Myers. But another chance as the Vipers get another line change. Longstaff bursts out with Johnson. Schmier. Surprised Schmier's out there for the last 50 seconds of the game. But the Vipers hammer into the neutral zone. Now Corey Nielsen. It's hot shot time for the Nottingham Panthers. If they've got any scorers out there, this is when you need it. Schmier and Longstaff clash, and Schmier is knocked off the puck by Longstaff. Final 30 seconds. Moline on the puck. Schmier goes back to the bench. Bergin takes his place. Last big effort for the Nottingham Panthers to double their advantage. Wallenberg puts the brakes on. Bergin's gone to the front of the net. Back out to Moline, 15 seconds. Moline throws one at the net, hits McDonald in the chest. Goulet gets it back out to 5 seconds. Nielsen loses it. Wow, Nick, what a game we've had. It's ebbed one way, it's ebbed the other way. First to the Panthers, then to the Vipers, then to the Panthers, back to the Vipers. And Moline has gone and won it for the Nottingham Panthers. Final score at the NIC, first leg semi-final of the Challenge Cup. The Nottingham Panthers have beaten the Newcastle Vipers by 5-4. We'll have interviews and reactions. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.
Welcome back to the BMI, baby, Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports. We're at the Nick in Nottingham for the Challenge Cup semi-final first leg, where the Panthers have beaten the Newcastle Vipers 5-4. There are all your goal scorers, but the one that you want to keep your eye on is Moline with the game winner at 57-51. Well, it was a real barn burner, Dave, alongside me. What were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts were exactly the same as you. I mean, end-to-end stuff, a few defensive errors, a lot of great goals. I was very excited with the game. And you know what? The Nottingham Panthers showed something they haven't done in the past, and that was courage, character, and they were prepared to go that extra mile.
A lot of guys stepped up to the plate, didn't they?
They did. You know, right at the off the bat tonight, we said, we're not going to look at McCaslin. Who else is going to help him out? And McCaslin got a lot of help tonight from a lot of people, including, you know, Myers and Peltier, the whole lot of them.
It was a game full of incidents with 9 goals. We did see some disallowed goals and a goal that did stand after as well. This is the disallowed goal now for the Nottingham Panthers. You see they have the shot from the point, and there you want to keep an eye on the guys in white in front of that painted blue there. And what happened was Andy Carson saying that a guy was in the blue in the crease there, and he disallowed the goal.
25 Bergin. Now, he just got a little bit of his skate in.
Now this is the goal that is allowed for the Newcastle Vipers, and they're saying Derek Campbell, their number 37, he was in the blue, wasn't he?
He was
in the
definitely
paint.
in the blue. In fact, if you watch both of these, you would have to say, if any of the goals are going to be disallowed, it was going to be this one, because look where Campbell is. He's in the blue. He's right in front of Rovniak. Where if you go back to the other goal, or the goal that wasn't a goal, that wasn't actually the case. Bergin was just touching the red line.
The game is full of incidents.
It is indeed, and I'm sure Andy Carson would perhaps like that one back.
Okay, and our man of the match, Myers, who scored a brilliant goal, coming in on Kratzky, turning him inside out, and a great individual effort going coast to coast.
Matt Myers was outstanding from the first shift to the last shift tonight, and poor old Kratzky here, he doesn't know whether it's Christmas or breakfast, does he? And Myers just drives the net. What a great move, and poor old Kratzky, you know, he should have stopped him. Kratzky's 6'5", double the weight, and Kratzky should have just gone and challenged him and then moved him out of the way. And you know, Myers deserved his goal for going to the net and to doing the dirty job. Let's look at it again. Look at that backhand forehand. Eventually comes off his skate, but hey,
just driving to the net effort, and you got to keep that effort, don't you, right to the goal.
Every single time, and that's what he does. He's so big and strong. You want to see more of that from Matt Myers, and if he gets his confidence up, then hey, happy days for him, because he has all the talent, all the ability.
4-4 with 4 minutes to go, and Moline steps up to the plate and gets this game winner. Obviously, 3 more periods of hockey to go, but this sends...
Long outlet pass. Poor old Kratzky again gets caught out. Moline just gets on the offensive side of him, and I think Rob Wilson won't be happy about that. He'll be wanting Kratzky to be the other side of Moline and at least trying to prevent him from scoring, but not to be. But then give Moline credit. Wow, what a nice finish by Moline. I think he really did finish well on McDonald.
Okay, well, Dave, you caught up with both head coaches earlier on. Let's hear what they had to say.
A yo-yo game, Rob. What was your view at the end of that?
You know what? It was a pretty good hockey game from both teams. I thought that a little disappointed. We had a couple of breakdowns where we haven't had throughout the year, and that's why we've been successful. And you know, we should be a little tighter at certain times. And but you know, it's back to working on that and communicating together. But no, on the whole, you know, I'm pretty happy when you really think about it. You're down in Nottingham. You're only down 1 goal going home now, so it's up for us to win it.
A couple of good advantages though, 3-1 up, and then when Shields scored 4-4, were you just trying to close the game out then?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I kept telling on the bench. I said, you know, make sure we have 4 behind the puck, make sure no one gets in behind you, and let's close the middle off. And we didn't do that, and Moline gets in, and he's quick, and he's a good goal scorer, and he scores, and disappointed.
I just walked past your dressing room, the door was locked. What were you saying to your players after the game?
You don't want to know. No, you know what? I just said, you know, I thought we played well. I thought both teams played well. I think it was a lot of energy from both teams, and it was like a yo-yo game. And but you know, like I said, we're down 1 going home, and it's up for us now to win it. So wasn't too much said except for good effort.
Many congratulations, Mike. That was a gutsy performance. Your team showed a lot of character.
Yeah, we came back a couple times that game. It was an up and down game. Both teams worked very hard, and there was a lot of chances in both ends. It's just really happy to be on the right side of that scoreline.
When we've been with the Panthers before, we've always talked about McCaslin, and tonight I said we needed somebody else to stand to the plate. You had Wallenberg, you had Moline, you had Matt Myers. A lot of your players really did put themselves out.
Yeah, a lot of the guys are finishing their checks and doing that extra little bit of work that it takes to get your chances. And I was really happy with that. Guys that don't normally be our top hero stepped up to the plate today. Matt Myers had a great game. He was intense in both ends of the ice, and really happy with that, and it makes a big difference.
You also matched his line against the Longstaff line as well, which seemed to frustrate the Vipers.
Yeah, well, we did that on purpose. We wanted to aggravate that line a little bit. Longstaff is a big game winner type player, and we needed to make sure we stayed in his face and took time and space away from him. And it did get on his nerves a little bit. He's still a great player and still created chances, but it did slow him down a touch.
Both head coaches there talking to you, Dave. And I know Rob Wilson at the beginning of the game said he'd be happy with a 1-0 defeat going up into Newcastle, only 1 goal behind. But he doesn't look that happy, and that bench, that team down there don't look that happy with this result.
He was not that happy down there when he was speaking to us. His team didn't really want to come out and speak to us as well. The door was shut. We had to go in there to drag Rob Wilson out to speak to us. You know, he wasn't happy. And you know what? He had this game won at 1.31, and then at 4-4 as well. He really should have just locked it down.
Okay, well, away from the Challenge Cup right now, and let's go to the league results from Week 11. There's Saturday's games. Hull winning in overtime against Basingstoke. Coventry 6-2 Newcastle. Cardiff moving up into second spot with that win against Manchester, and Sheffield beating Edinburgh. On Sunday, Nottingham beat Manchester 4-2. Belfast, Newcastle 6-3 to Belfast, and Coventry beating Basingstoke 6-3. Cardiff 4-1 over Edinburgh, and Sheffield with a big one 7-1 over Hull. And we can have a look at the league table. Coventry Blaze still up at the top, but Cardiff have slipped up above Newcastle.
Well, Newcastle had a bad weekend, losing to Coventry, losing to Belfast, and the Cardiff Devils, I think 14 wins in 15 games. Wow, Jared Adams is hot, eh?
Yeah, as well. Also, we got to keep in mind all those games in hand that Coventry have as well.
Well, that's what we said. We go back to that game we did at the Sky Dome a couple of weeks ago, and those games in hand. But Cardiff are one team. You know, this Saturday coming up, Cardiff Devils go into Coventry. What a big game that is. If Coventry win that can be a huge momentum swing. But if Cardiff can beat Coventry at the Sky Dome, then the Devils are really back in this one.
Okay, well, let's have a look at hockey that's coming your way here on Sky Sports. It's Friday the 30th of November. Cardiff Devils against the Sheffield Steelers, 4:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Extra. So more Challenge Cup hockey coming our way. And
well, they're big games, aren't they, these semi-finals? In that small rink down in Cardiff. Sheffield have won one and lost one in that building, so if the previous results are anything to go by.
And why are Cardiff so hot right now?
They're just confident, aren't they? They've got all their players back. Day Chatelet, who was so bad at the beginning of the year, is now so good and hot. Rabia is scoring for fun. The goalie, O'Sare, is making great save after great save. Cardiff are hot.
All right, Dave. Well, thanks ever so much for joining us. And thank you for joining us here in Nottingham, where the Nottingham Panthers will take a 1-goal lead heading into the second leg of their Challenge Cup semifinal against the Newcastle Vipers. We'll see you next time here on Sky Sports.